you're reminded that time is finite, and so it's like do what you want in the time that you have, and don't look back regretting anything.
Time is running out, and they're going to destroy any hope of a tomorrow up here.
Change happens when a few determined individuals make it happen.
Thank you for speaking to me about the series. This series has been one of my favorite shows for the past how many years it's been on Apple TV. I mean, it is so fantastic. So thank you so much for speaking to me.
Oh, thanks for
Um,
watching.
yeah, I guess I have to talk about the big spoiler of episode 3 because I got as far as that, and then I was like, I think I need a break for a little bit. Ed's death. I mean, it's a really big moment in the series, and it honestly feels so shocking because he's been such a constant since season 1, so it felt like he was untouchable in a way. What was your reaction to learning about his death and the manner in which he died and so early in the season?
Yeah, I know. It's gosh, right? It's like the impossible. Ed feels like he was all gonna live forever. He was certainly was stubborn enough, and if he had his way, he'd be 150 years old, still leading missions, and
Yeah.
still stirring up good trouble. Yes, episode 3, that was a big one. Yeah, it was just, we all knew he was aging. That was obvious, and we knew he couldn't live forever. But like you said, I think we were all just shocked and sad to see it, when I saw the script and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. Um, yeah, on the days we were filming episode 3, it was just a really special episode. I loved working with Joel, with Ed, Kelly with Ed, and to shoot those scenes where, we knew it was like his final moments and saying goodbye and stuff. It was just naturally like saying goodbye to somebody you've known for 5, 6 years, and it just kind of blends like life and real life and the story and all the love that you've built with people you've come to admire. So yeah, it was a beautiful, deeply sad episode, but I think really gratifying for for our characters, who
Mhm.
embodied this family for all these years. So yeah.
Yeah, it was really emotionally touching. I mean, there were so many moments where I was like, oh, they're not going to do it. And then y'all did it. And I was like, wow, you guys actually killed off Ed. Like that's really bold. I mean, it will obviously have a huge impact on the overall story, but how would you say his death not only affects, Kelly as a person, but how she approaches her ambitions now and her relationship that she has with her son?
I think, anytime anytime there's a death, I feel that when you experience death in life, something shifts. You kind of reassess everything in your life. And I think certainly that is true here, especially someone as big, as Ed, who and what he represented, not just for the family, but for the space race and for all the reasons why we even have a colony on Mars. And so I think you see you. I think for certainly for Kelly, there's a big shift, and of course she and her son, Alex has his own thoughts and ambitions, and he's a young man now and he has his own opinions on things. But I think what Kelly got, I think one of the biggest things Kelly got from seeing her dad go is time is limited, and he had a long time to do all that he did, and he did a lot. But for her, I think it's kind of like you're reminded that time is finite, and so it's like do what you want in the time that you have, and don't look back regretting anything. And I think that was
Yeah.
like the main theme for Kelly this year is all the challenges and all of her ambition this year. I think it reflects back also like on Ed's death, of episode 3, which is do what you want to do what you came here to do, and live with no regrets.
Yeah, and on pretty much that same exact note, I mean, a lot of season 5 is, trying to discover new life on Mars or anywhere else in space, the universe. And without getting too much into spoilers, what can you say about the discoveries that people on Mars might or may not make in this season?
I'm just very excited. I think this season, you know, we've been building for a couple seasons now, over decades. Of course, space exploration and the search for life when it comes to Kelly's research. And this season is really gratifying in a lot of ways. And I think Kelly and her team, we accomplish a lot. And I'm not going to say what we accomplish, but I think it's really gratifying in seeing how far we're able to take our research.
And I have to wrap up after one last question, but I do want to mention, 5 seasons. 5 seasons is a lot for, I think, any television show these days, because oftentimes television shows get canceled or they wrap up really early. But you guys are still going strong. And in your opinion, what would you say is For All Mankind's, secret to its success?
I don't even have the answer to that because I'm just one person of this whole um universe that was built. But I think it's a lot of things that play into a show's success, right? And um it starts with the creators having an idea that has enough fuel in it to keep going and to keep telling compelling story and to have enough storylines that keep the audience engaged. And then it depends on the audience. Are they watching and are they engaged? And we're so thankful for our fans, for staying and watching all these years. I know it can be quite a time gap before each season gets released, but we have such great fans. And then all of the creative people who play a part of it. There's the writers and production designers and cast, and then there's costumes, hair, makeup. Everybody, pours so much heart and soul into it, and to keep the story going. And yeah, I play just one small piece of this whole big universe that's created. So yeah, we're lucky to be telling the story for 5+ seasons now.
It's very well said, and I completely agree. I mean, there's so much going for this series that you guys could go on for 10 more seasons if possible. Well, thank you so much for speaking to me about the series and taking the time for this interview. Is been greatly appreciated.
Thanks, Katie.
Everything that's happened led to this moment. Your generation is going to do things people can't even fathom.